We are back for part 2, my darlings, and no, that isn't beautiful Hannah from Mongolia. This is another lovely lady. Another? I can't even speak properly. Another lovely lady, and gent over here in some form of national costume, I would wager. It was a smart move to end part 1. I was busy talking with Hannah, and her mum has a massive horse farm in Mongolia, and she was showing me videos of the horses running what absolutely spectacular natural scenery. So beautiful you wouldn't even believe it. As I said to her, oh, please again, out of the box. As I said to her, you know, you don't even realise that you're living in absolute paradise. So yeah, we swapped details, etc., and we will keep in touch. And she said I'm welcome to go to Mongolia or Hong Kong. Maybe, folks, maybe, just maybe, we'll have a video coming up of wild horse farm in Mongolia. Would that not be an absolutely amazing thing for the channel? If yours truly can be bothered to drag his rear that far, that is. Okay, so this gent just asked the police if he's allowed to get on the line, and they said yes. I'm really liking actually the enforcement by that particular MOD officer. He's been on it tops. What am I missing? What? Oh, I thought you meant it's like a famous person just arrived. Get back! Oh, Australian bro just got. He just. Right. I bet he's gone. Definitely Aussies. 1 second, please. Let me see if I can speak to him. He's super blushed after that.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You can tell the people that are respectful and end up being a bit bashful after they get shouted at. Let me mention it. Guys, they only shout at people from Australia, so you're chill, you've got nothing to worry about. Yeah. You're Australians, you're not Kiwis.
No, we're Kiwis.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, no wonder. People always get it wrong, like all the time, and you guys get offended though when it's like when it's the wrong way.
They smell us out from miles away.
Yeah. I guess in some ways, folks, it's a little bit like, I wouldn't be offended by it, but a little bit like somebody constantly saying, "Hey, you must be Welsh," to me, even though I'm English. So I do get it. I was convinced, because of their hairstyles that they were Aussies, but hey, I was close. But yeah, he definitely was bashful about getting shouted at. Bing bong. Now, I don't really know what to expect actually for this part of the shift. I mean, we've heard, 2 or 3 growls. There was a very loud growl as well during the conversation I was having with Hannah off camera. Sometimes I think it's kind of respectful when you're exchanging details or stuff to not put it in the video. Oh no, she's in the box.
Step back.
Uh-oh, with the kid. Ouch. I mean, the police were just on the way to tell her anyway. But what a brilliant voice he's got here. Step back. His voice there is like brilliant. It's like kids are repeating it, like trying to copy the guard's command. It's very authoritative. You know, I joke about it being a growl, but it is one of the most authoritative voices that we hear here among all the troopers. Very clear, very firm. He rarely has to absolutely let rip. Now, I think what we'll do is have a little look at what's going on the other end. Solely because, my dears, I feel like I've somewhat neglected the other lovely trooper who's at the other end here. So let's have a look. Who have we got? Oh, we've got another absolute no-nonsense trooper back again. Wow. In fact, one of the most no-nonsense troopers is back again at this end. I'm going to sort of wait for a little bit of space to pop in because it's a little bit chocker here, folks. There's not very much space at all. Oh, here we go. Ta-da.
Oh yeah, that too. That's the other thing.
Thank you. Oh, I thought the joggers were going to jog straight into the camera then. It really did look as though they were about to. Now, what have we got here at the moment? A smattering of tourists, a completely beautiful horse, who seems very happy actually to be in the sunlight, in all honesty. Horse is definitely more chill than Trooper, who is clearly overheating, as indeed am I, and pretty much every other tourist here. Now, I'm hoping that the drum and bass in the van behind me isn't going to be a problem with the video. One never knows these days, people. Even a flipping Moroccan song that was in the background of a video, I think it was last week or the week before, meant a teeny weeny edit. And luckily yours truly has got pretty adept at messing about with Adobe Premiere Pro, so it's all good. It just takes longer to publish the video because it means having to make a small cut that doesn't look obvious, and then join the two pieces together and then re-encode it. Now this is part 2, people. Part 1, mixed bag. I mean, we got a couple of super loud shouts. We got a bunch of clowns taking pictures in the arches. We got the police being pretty strict, telling people to get back as well. But at the moment, the groups are still flooding out, or into the yard, and then sometimes out of the yard. But no one in a group situation, in fact we haven't had any massive groups yet, none of those groups are coming up and bothering the horse. Yeah. Here's some beauties. Look at this. And the thing is, they're not going to be able to get themselves out yet because there's a flatbed truck blocking the street briefly. Okay, that's now moving. Looks like they would have got themselves blocked in. Oh, that's interesting. See that? How close that line bite guy was to the horses. Now we haven't seen beautiful grabbers on, and some of our regular favourite officers for a week or two. So I'm thinking they might well be on summer leave, summer holiday. Yeah, the groups are stopping in the yard because the tunnel and the yard, only places where you can actually escape this not quite searing but nevertheless considerable heat. But I am really wondering to myself, where's the best spot to stand in, because it's changing all the time. 1 minute is dead, next minute is absolutely chocker again. Look at it, all over the place. Mad, eh? See, I'm a little bit on the... Oh my goodness, like, where are they all coming from? Look at it. What the flipping hell is going on today? I'm actually going to struggle, I think, guys, to get a spot anywhere. Just by virtue of the numbers. Wait, is Viniti? Oh, he looked at me like really moodily then, but I settled him down, folks. I said, excuse me, in Russian. And he was fine. So хорошо. Very interesting to see a very large Russian school group. Okay, that's better. Right, we're kind of in-ish. I mean, to be honest, folks, this is the best I can do for the moment. At least we got the sign, though. I mean, that's got to be a positive. Yeah, that's really unusual, actually, to have a Russian... I don't think we've ever come across a Russian-speaking school group here before. Very curious. In a good way. I mean, I personally think that the more we mix it up with different groups, the better. It's just complete bonkers chaos. But not in front of the boxes. Police officers are also enforcing it. Look, they're doing actually a really brilliant job, which means a trooper can focus on those that gets way too close when they're actually near the horse. It's important, fellows. Like, stand aside, peasants. I have a lunch with the PM. And you know what? He probably does. Oh my goodness. What on earth? Wait, is he about to charge this group or what? I can't even tell what's going on right now, in all honesty. There's always a reason, folks, that we end up standing in certain positions, and by some kind of miracle, it happened right in front of the camera. You wouldn't believe it, would you? But there we are. Interesting, they've got a kind of black bucket. They used to have a red one. Like the Blues and Royals would have a Blues and Royals bucket, and the lifeguards would have a sort of, it wasn't actually really red, it was kind of like a pinky faded, pinky reddy colour. But they've gone black this year. I wonder why. Horsey didn't really want to seem, I mean, he had a little bit of it. Plus he didn't get, I think he was hoping for a bit of a wet rub down. But it didn't happen. Anyway, we wouldn't have caught that so well unless we'd end up in this odd position on the corner, so it's all good. We'll try and get back again. Absolute madness today. Like, what is going on, people? Most of the tour groups are not even paying the slightest bit of attention to what is being said to them by the group leaders. I don't want to turn the camera because it's embarrassing, but they're all just standing there like rolling their eyes. Oh, okay, get me out of here ASAP, please. And to be honest, I get it. Team AJ Bell. Of course, it's like, you still didn't take my picture yet, and I really want to be picture of the day because I haven't been here for a while. The thing is, me not knowing whether or not it's Victoria is vexing, because it means that I think to myself, do I want to post a picture without knowing which horse it is? Well, honestly, I don't, folks. But then again, I could post a picture, I guess, and then if you find knowledgeable people manage to figure out which horse it is, you can always tell me. But the horse is actually desperate to be a picture of the day, you can see. The thing is, I'm not really in the right position. Okay, that'll do. That's kind of decent. Oh, obviously now the horse looks even more at the camera. Yeah, it'll do. Okay, here's the chief, and the good thing is it's a very serious, no nonsense, always on it, polite, engaging with the tourists, and thoroughly decent gent chief corporal of horse we've got here today, complete with horse crop for whipping peasants that don't listen. I think you just said to the trooper, how many people did you shout at? The trooper said 3. Corporal of horse said 3. Or you mean 33? He said no, 3. Corporal of horse said, well, you need to work harder than some. I want it to be at least 50 before your shift is over. That kind of old school true leader of men, that corporal of horse. I think they're talking about the renovation works. I mean, let's hope, guys, they're not going to shut everything down here and abandon this traditional layout, because it will be a bit sad. I think all of us will be a bit like, if, for example, they abolish the boxes, or, as I was alluding to in Monday's video, turned the horses facing inward. That would create in itself a lot of fresh logistical issues. Another one, outside the box, please. Just absolutely non-stop, isn't it, really, to be honest. Okay, let's move myself to the other side a teeny bit. Now there's some space. Oops, 1 second. Obviously this lady's head is in the frame, but that's going to be a better spot in a minute. We haven't actually been, as I remember, on this side. I think the trooper's wondering if Mr. Tango Man is going to try and touch the horse. That would be my guess. Oh wow, which language is that? That's interesting. Guys, can I ask you a quick question? Which language do you speak?
Romanian.
Ah, it's one that we don't hear in London a lot, actually.
No.
Wow, not here.
The video, yeah?
It's a funny thing, actually, guys. There's a huge... Sorry, it's my video. There's a huge population of... in fact, the largest population in the last 5 years of immigrants from Europe has been Polish. I think Romania's second or third. So me kind of saying that it's not a language we hear often. It's true, here at Horse Guards, but it is a language that's massively heard, obviously, around London. So I should have asked him, actually, he's left now, to read out the sign in Romanian, because we haven't yet had any Romanian speakers translating the sign. I know there are a lot of similarities with Romanian and Italian, I've been told before, but it's not a language I immediately recognise. Easy one to confuse, I think, with some of the Baltic languages, even though it's a Romance language. Okay, so our favourite Chinese ladies are here again. And she's like, oh, get ready. She's in the box, but her foot is not. Does that kind of make sense? Like she's leaning at an angle. Now she is. Oops. Even the police officer had a little chuckle then. Sometimes it's hard not to, in all honesty, because you can see it coming before it even happens, can't you? With the more obvious candidates, shall we say. Actually, the Romanian gent and his partner are asking the police officer if they're allowed to pat the horse, and obviously he's saying you're not. Oof. Now it's 16 minutes to the hour, and I tell you what, I guarantee these two troopers cannot flipping wait to get out of here. And I'm pretty sure we'll see two new faces, not a return of the two that were here prior to these current two. Officers are storming over for something. What's happening over here? No idea if people are going in the arches again. I'm not going to run in and find out either. It's pretty much too hot to even move. No wonder the horses are so chill. Despite the heat though, guys, we have to admire this guard for his very, very, very rigorous visual observation of where people are standing as they get anywhere near. Oh, thank you for your service, this gent, who I think is from the US, just said to the trooper, nice guy. Any more people don't give a couple of words of appreciation. It's not even a respect thing, it's an appreciation thing, isn't it, really? Cute Bromant. Meanwhile, she's got a phone charger in her back pocket. Should I tell her that's a bad idea? Actually though, if somebody did try and nick it, it's attached, isn't it, to the charging cable, so maybe it's not so much of a risk. Trying to move a teeny bit further back actually toward the bollard, but it's still pretty chocker here, guys. At the other end, people are sitting on the ground just past the other box.
Okay.
I thought Blondie was about to walk toward the horse then, but luckily not. Let's move ourselves once again, carefully. It's like a sort of a tourist social club, I think is the most apt description of what we're seeing here today. We have somewhat neglected this end, I'm not going to lie. However, there's still time to rectify that. As I said, 15 minutes until the changeover, give or take. Yeah, 15 minutes. So that means we'll have likely seen 6 faces, 6 different troopers across 3 different shifts in the 2 parts today. My favourite kind of day. One thing I'm going to be doing, guys, as well when I have the time, is going back through some of the older 2-parters and merging them together.
burada kralın
So you will start, not
atlı askerleri.
in the next week or two, but when I have the time, you'll start to see some videos of extreme length. In other words, some of the videos will be between 2 and 3 hours long. And the only reason for that is so many of you have messaged and said, why do you always end the video under 70 minutes? And the honest answer for that is not even that I want to, because it wouldn't make any difference to me. But two reasons. One, God forbid the phone dies or something happens or the gimbal dies middle of a long video, there's a chance I might lose the whole thing. Hence it's better to shoot 2 parts. But, and this is the main reason, it takes Google a very long time, YouTube a long time, to process each video anyway. Why? Because the file sizes are huge. So even after it's uploaded, processing time on a video is a minimum of 90 minutes, but sometimes as long as 4 hours. Now that would be far longer if the videos were 2 to 3 hours long. So if I merge them slowly and start to post them without any kind of rush, with the date, you can watch an entire day's footage without any gaps or having to search for part 2 or whatever. Because in a lot of the earlier footage, I didn't stamp this is part 1 and there's a link to part 2. Stupid, my mistake, but that's the reality of it. So yeah, 2-3 hour videos coming up, folks. I probably won't be doing that anytime soon for the current videos, but I'll likely get to do that in the autumn when I'm sort of working back through the library. Flipping out some super tall people we get here. The thing is, every time I come to this end, the people that I've seen now at this end are not here anymore. Look, who's the first one? To be honest, another lovely, kind and polite tourist who also took a moment to say thank you. All it takes, one moment, to the trooper. Oops. I thought it was a protest actually coming for a minute, but it's not. It's a massive school group in high vis. Oh, wait, what's the toy he's got? What's that? That furry toy? Is that like a beaver or? It's the farmer's dog on his cap. Oh, a platypus? I have no idea what that is, folks. Apologies for my ignorance. I guess it's. I'm guessing a Canadian, actually. I'm not going to barge in because it feels a bit rude, but if they come this way, I'll ask. It's got like webbed feet. It's not an otter, is it? Maybe is it? Anyone? Which animal was that? It's me saying US, Canadian, Aussie. I mean, just at random because I actually have no clue which animal that was that you put on his shoulder. But some of you will obviously recognise it immediately. Now I came to this end. There's no one here. Everyone is at the other end. Look, you couldn't make it up, could you? If I were not showing you this, you wouldn't believe it's true. But that's the nature of the way things work here. 1 minute there's packed, next minute there's no one. What the? They hired a bus for a school group who obviously got rather enamoured by the horses and troopers. So rather enamoured, extremely enamoured would be a more appropriate description. The funny thing is, several of the people that were filming here gave up and left because their kit overheated and switched off. It's a pity. Flipping on tourists, make your mind up. We've got a super vantage point here, but there's actually no one getting close. Now this is a troop you might remember, folks, who's very quiet until he doesn't need to be, and then boom. But I dare say he, like the other one, is counting down the minutes. They've got 7 minutes until they're done. And believe me, people, that was a hard hour for these guys, exceptionally so. Keeping on water levels actually, because there's not a lot left.
Every other day they change batch of horses. So each horse does an hour. I understand why you're worried about.
She's early. She's like, get the flipping hell behind that bollard now. Very early actually, folks. We are still 7 minutes out. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be more interesting a bit this end. No disrespect to the troop we were just filming, but at this end we've got the orderly, we've got the police, and we've got the guard. So that's my thinking. Some of the other people filming have actually popped up umbrellas. Yeah. Maybe I need to get myself an umbrella. But then I wouldn't get a tan, so it's kind of self-defeating. It's the fire brigade behind me. Yours truly suffering in the sunshine, viewers. I personally didn't see the point in being out in the sun and having an umbrella. It's kind of like, if you don't want to get in a tan and a vitamin D shot, stay at home. So I understand how my bottles are roasting hot, but the water inside is freezing cold. Okay, so everybody's kind of forming up along the line at this point. Slowly. I'm half tempted to move to the middle, but I don't think I will just yet. I might even go into the yard, guys, if it stays empty. It's been a while since we've been there for a dismount anyway. We've spent the majority of the time out here. Officers are closing the 2 side gates to keep the traffic funneled into the middle, but at the moment the yard is dead. So that, I think, is going to be the plan. Let's see. Now the guard did need to speak up several times, and he did it beautifully, but he didn't need to massively let rip. Unlike his predecessor, who did, as you'll see, or will have seen if you've watched part 1. This is part 2. Yep. This is part 2, my dears. Now I don't know what's happened. A second. It looked like he told him to move from the crowd. No idea why. No shouting or anything odd. Exactly 5 minutes. A few people in the yard, but it's very, very chill now. If it doesn't pick up a teeny bit after the changeover, I will end this part prematurely. Oh yes. As I said before, guys, there's no point in film unless you've got interaction. And boy, do I want to get to the park ASAP.
Oh, this one's gonna be
I just need to get home, don't I, and book my trip to Mongolia. is, even if I did go all the way to Mongolia, I made a video about wild horses in the most spectacular natural scenery, I bet none of you would have flipping watch it anyway. So there is a kind of a hesitation on my part. Plus, that's a pretty epic journey. And if I did go that far, I'd be very much determined to see China while I was in the region. So we'll see. It's way too hot this time of the year anyway. Oh, some tourist just said, "Thank you, horse." Thank you for what? I thank you for your service, Mr. Horse. I've absolutely no clue at all what the tourists behind me are waving at. They're waving at the horse, like on the tour bus. Which are kind of odd, to be honest. Look at his face. The trooper is definitely waiting. I can tell you that. Just in case somebody does step over. As long as it's not a little bro with ice cream, it's all good. Four minutes, folks, for the changeover. Just 4 minutes. I'm actually really glad about that, to be honest. Even the officer's checking his watch. That amount of kit, dressed in black in this this heat, guys, 30 it is now. Little salute, thanks for that. Actually, I just remembered, in fact, if I drink all the water, it's fine because I've got another bottle, like an unopened bottle in my bag. Duh. Quiet one. My take would be that most people have decided to head off because it's too hot. I'm not exaggerating, it really is. Interesting, I just have Florida on the right, and Chicago on the left. Oh, not sure, we just, I think we just about caught that as I was turning the camera now. Step back. Brilliant. Okay, who's up next? Some people holding their luggage actually up as a way to block the sun. Thank goodness I sloshed SPF 50 all over my neck, people, this morning. Otherwise I'd be crispier than some southern fried bacon at this point. Right, let's see who's up next. Pretty sure there'll be new horses. Kind of looking like maybe Zorba on the left. We'll see in just a minute. But it's still packed, look. With traffic and with people, to be fair. What the hell does this guy think he's going to... He was just about to run through the gates. That would have been interesting. I mean, to be honest, he would have run into the yard into one of the horses. What's that? I can't actually yet see which horse it is 100%, but just a minute. Bye-bye to you. Again, I thought it was Victoria, but I don't want to confirm that it is because I've no clue. Pretty sure this is Zorba. And have a look at the other end in just a minute, so when they've finished and the dismount is done. Yeah, pretty sure it's all the folks. At this point, I'm kind of stress testing the kit. I cannot believe I'm in the middle of a part 2 and the kit hasn't given up in this heat. Genuinely surprised. Looks like every single tour bus has been booked by schools today. There's another one behind us. You can hear them all. Look. It's actually stopped. They've got lucky in this group. They stopped right opposite the box. Talk about good timing with the traffic. But that's the noise. It sounds like it's someone's birthday from what they're calling out on the PA system. Right, this is where they all flood forward yet again. We're going to go to that end, see which horse and troop we've got. Wouldn't surprise me at all if it's Quincy that's back on at the other end. So this is definitely Zorba. And I think we'll do a bit of a split, this and the other end. Can't really remember, been a while since I've seen this particular troop. I can't remember whether he's really firm with the box, the lines and with the enforcement, but we're about to find out. And then I'll go to the other end, I think. It's still a bit of a mixed bag. It's not quiet, it's not packed. But as long as there are people here, we'll keep on rolling. The only decision is whether it's going to be this end or the other end. Oh, that's the guy that got told to leave by the police. Very curious. See, there's plenty here again on both sides, left and right, but not too many directly in front. I would have expected actually the previous two horses would have been watered more than once, in all honesty. Oh, straight in the box, and then told to get out of the box immediately. Just Polish. Yep, Polish. Oops. Well, I mean, that told us what we need to know about this trooper. Another no-nonsense fellow. I don't think we've seen a weak link in the lifeguards in weeks. Absolutely consistently ruthless enforcement. However, yet again, towards standard. Oh, her husband's telling her next to the box, not in the box. Uh-oh, here's another one about to get told. Wow, ruthless. In a good way. Okay, so that's 2 out of 2 already. Didn't take long, did it? Here's another one. It's the third one. Just told her to get out. Step outside the white line. So the Spanish bro doesn't get told off as well.
Ya. Si pasas la línea blanca te va a morder el caballo. Va, ponte. Aquella.
Aquella atrás, ¿ves?
Aquella, ¿no?
Leather jacket in 30 degrees. Mad. Try hard not to sneeze. I got it. Yeah, I don't want to sneeze because it's very, very loud in the audio when I sneeze. I've actually jumped up my own sneeze in the past.
Sorry.
It's okay. He froze right before the camera and looked at me, couldn't decide what to do, and then decided to walk past. Hence the sorry. Oh, here we go. It's a nice t-shirt. In fact, I made a t-shirt like that when I was in school. We had to bring like a bunch of different dyes and stuff and a white t-shirt, and it came out looking just like that. I think it cost about 40p. But a respectful tourist to the trooper. Mr. Lacoste here. He's the Hong Kong regional manager for French brand Lacoste. Who's next? Very cautious tourist on the left, who's not going to get in the box. Except the trooper still had to tell her. Had to be while I was having a flipping mouthful of water, didn't it? At the other end so far, haven't heard a whisper, haven't heard the horse, or seen the horse. Oh, look at this. Which country's military is this? Oh. Folks, do your thing, people. Which naval... It's definitely not British. Don't recognise the uniform. Which nationality? I was going to ask him, but it feels really weird to approach serving military personnel, especially if they're alone and in uniform. But you do your thing, everybody. Which country? He's headed across to the Ministry of Defence, which is not really surprising, but always good to know what we're filming, what we're seeing. We've got a horse whisperer. Been a while since we've had one. Okay, bro, don't do it. I mean, to be honest, it's been reasonably chill. Not just this part, but part one wasn't completely hectic. There were some massive shouts and quite a dramatic charge, in all honesty. Probably the most dramatic charge we've seen, but the vast majority, I would say. Oh, here we go again. He was quickly told by his family and friends here to move. See, the trooper gestured. He was just about to shout in his face. Again, he did it on purpose, just didn't realise. March straight over into the box, as we often see here. People not looking at the ground. And to be honest, folks, when we're walking around typically, do most of us stare at the ground about what we're about to walk past or through or over? We don't. So it's understandable that a lot of tourists don't get it. Okay, here we go. Somebody decided to take down the old blind in their bathroom and have it fashioned into a summer dress. Brilliant. Plus, it's waterproof as well, just in case of those summer showers. Good thinking. And I personally am all for recycling, folks, whether it's clothing or plastics. He's like, stand there and... Wait, did he say stand there inside the box? No, surely not. I must have misheard. No, okay, no, she's not going inside the box. Neither is her salmon-shirted husband.
So you can see on its white bit, it's got a stamp on it. I don't know if you can see it. It says LG, so that means it's line of horse. And then on the other foot, you can't really read it, but it says the horse's number. So they're all recognised by a number system. So this one's called Growling. Really sweet.
Okay, that's really interesting. Right? A tour guide.
There's another one down there.
Second one's
Say
there.
hi.
Are you a private tour guide?
No. I'm one of their exercise riders.
I was going to say, because we never have any other tour guides that know that this is Zorba. So straight away I'm like, how does she know it's Zorba?
Yeah.
Okay, she's one of the civilian riders, folks. That makes sense. But even so, the majority of the civilian riders, and I speak to some of them, not all of them, some, don't know the names of all the horses. There are 200 odd. How could they ever know all of them? But I guess Zorb's is pretty distinctive, is he not? It would make sense that this would be a very recognisable one in the lifeguards. Plus, don't forget, he's a relatively new addition to the regiment as well, as a Z horse. He's only been in for a year. I don't know what has happened, folks, but something's definitely happened with the Chinese tourists. They're being very, very well behaved. Are they not? Today, compared to the past, well, say 3 weeks, where there's been a problem almost without exception. But none today, not a single issue. It's always, in fact, trying to think back, maybe one or two were told to get out of the box, but the biggest shouts were for the American guy, and I think a couple of other either American or Australian tourists. I forget, too long ago. Anyway, we're into probably the last, give or take, 15 minutes or so. This will end just after the hour, I reckon, unless things go completely bonkers, because otherwise, one, I'm going to pass out due to heat stroke, or two, the kit's going to give up. It's normally about 17% after I've shot 2 videos, but that is typically low when it's this hot. I will, before I finish, regardless of what happens at this end, get a little teeny bit of footage of the troop at the other end, just for the sake of completeness. Bear in mind that will be trooper number 6 that we will have seen out here on duty today. I'm worried that this group are going to back themselves over the line and get shouted at. They're over the line now. Is he going to tell them? Yep. Oh, look at that. Just getting Zorbs ready for the charge, and they spoilt it by marching away. And why am I getting the impression that this group are planning? Oh, here we go. Look, they're playing like stupid music intentionally, trying to annoy the guard. What? Here's another one. Look. She didn't get it either. She was like, "Oh, hello, you're talking to me?" So that makes what, I don't know, 6, 7, 8. I lost count. And again, look, she still doesn't get it. And another busload of flipping. What is going on today? It looks like the entire bus company, all of their tours today have been booked out by one school, because it's not the same bus going around in circles. It's a different group of school kids on each one. Possibly sort of end of term celebration or something like that. It's normally a school disco or whatever, but these days I'm thinking it might well be the case that instead they're having the open top tour bus. Okay, he's got a foot. Oh. And yet again, this troop is ruthless. It's partly why I'm reluctant to move, because every time I think, oh, let's move, somebody else turns up that looks like they're about to claim victim, I was shouted at the guard status. Look, at least she's telling her mum, grandma, whatever, about the white line. It's never nice to see elderly people getting shouted at, because often, almost universally, they don't do it intentionally. Okay, we will relocate in a minute, folks. I'm just waiting for it to clear at this end. that's a little bit better. Now we've got some room. And we will finish up at this end. That's the plan now. It might change, but for the moment, that is the plan. Flies all over the place. Oh yes, we've got the changeover coming. I just forgot about that. Okay, couple of horse saying push back behind the bollards. Fair's fair. I completely forgotten, guys, that the changeover is imminent. Oh, okay, so the horse has decided he doesn't want to wait until the changeover, and he's off now. Look at that. They're going to walk him round and try, I think, to put him back in the box, in all honesty. What the flipping YouTuber just walked straight through the box? No way. Why would he just walk through the box? I don't get it. I'm not going to put his face in the video because he'll cry about it. Like what? I don't remember ever seeing any of us go through the box. Was that the first time that ever happened? Yeah, I think it was as well. Well. Folks, yeah. What can I say? She's behind us now. Definitely RAF, nearest to us, but I've got no idea which country's military that is again, and I'm pretty sure it's naval, on the left. Yeah, I am genuinely shocked about what we just saw, in all honesty. I don't get it. However, what I do get, I think, is why they took the horse in, as opposed to walking it back around again. I didn't mention it because it's not really my business, but the lady civilian rider went in with her group to the stables a little while ago, I'm thinking that possibly that would be why they didn't walk the horse around again. Because yeah, the horse quit, but horses quit all the time, and they always get walked around a second or third time. Oh wait. This guy with the line bite was going to wheel it toward the back of the box, and the officer stopped him. Then his friend just arrived as well. Oopsie doopsie. Very interesting. It's actually now 1:20, folks, and I can confidently say we're way above 30 degrees. I can feel it. It's borderline oppressive, to be honest. I'm not going to wander in the yard and look at the temperature device because perhaps I could. No, I don't want to. I don't want to get film like sticking my nose in, as some people might see it. Now the thing is, if it's only 20 past and the horse just quit, there should be a replacement, no? One would think, imminently. Another one in the box. Bro. I mean, at least it makes it easier deciding where to film, because it's either this horse or no horse, realistically, right now. Okay, so here comes the new horse. Actually, it isn't a new horse, it's the horse that was here previously. I wonder if possibly there's something wrong with the kit. Definitely the same horse, but... Actually, wait. Oh, I didn't get a close look before. I wasn't sure actually if it's the same trooper. I couldn't tell you, folks. Apologies, I wasn't really focusing. Had too much going with the corporal of horse and the police and the tourists and everything else. But it's the same horse, I can tell you that. However, which one is it? Actually, it's Quincy, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. I'm looking at the hoof, and half of it is kind of... It looks like, you know, a bit of the hoof is missing. It's not. It's just the way that it's coloured. Look, there's sort of lighter patches. I'm pretty sure that was Quincy, the one that we couldn't ID from the hoof number. Plus the blaze matches. Yeah, like a sort of Big Daddy version of Zorbs. I mean, at least that explains why it was a very quick wander off. I still couldn't tell whether the trooper walked the horse around the gate or the horse just took off and took the trooper with him. I wasn't focusing, but guys, what do you think? Did the horse just march off for a little break, or did the trooper actively march him out of the box? Okay. Little Miss Wallpaper dress is in the box. Now this trooper has pulled the lucky straw. He and the horse are 100% out of the sunshine. Yeah, it's boiling, but it's not in the sun. And I'm sure he's delighted about that. Anyway, last 10 minutes or so of the video, guys, and I'm going to go home and slosh myself in after sun before going to the park. Scared for the horse.
नाही तुझं तोंड नाही दिसत आहे का आपण
Women behind me mentioned that this horse looks just like the other one. It's true, actually. They're both very similar because of those very distinctive Dulux size or oversized white blazers. As I said, Zorbs, and I'm pretty sure this is Quincy, folks, but I'm welcome to be corrected as ever. It's good to see the tourists being modest and nervous. Meanwhile, yours truly is still melting. Okay, one second. Dad with his baby on the front. Let's go to the other end. Then we will actually finish up, folks, at this end. We've got just a couple of minutes. I'm going to finish this just after the hour because it is absolutely roasting. Like crazy, crazy, crazy hot. This is by far the hottest day of the year so far, without a shadow of a doubt. As I'm sure we'll be seeing on the news later this evening. Now, luckily, the trooper here has also noticed where the sunshine is falling, out of the direct sunshine. And I think he's probably delighted about that, to be honest. Oh, colour explosion. German tourists. And a lady on the left who is being very careful not to step into the box. Look. It's okay. In fact, they're both very careful, the German lady and the Chinese girl. I think she was Chinese. I'm definitely starting to feel the sun a bit though, people. I'm not going to lie. I'm not dehydrated, but teeny weeny bit dizzy. Good thing is I know my limits, and we're just about to reach them. Lady isn't over the line. The trooper is clearly monitoring the position of her feet, though, just in case. Oh. Uh-oh. Obviously, I had to go on a flip and move the camera away. What a surprise. It happens every time. Very cautious tourists on the right. Good to see, folks, because so many are not that cautious. In fact, so many couldn't give two, if I'm honest, as we see here so often. Anyway, our last few lucky punters turn out, guys, before part 2 is a wrap. And yours truly goes home to collapse. Venezia, Italia. Be surprised if we make it to the end of the summer without a single person having their headgear or hat or something nipped away by the horse. Happens every year. Haven't seen it yet though. Although, to be fair, it might not happen this year because we've not had the boxes, have we, in previous years. Then again, everything else has happened, boxes or not. A hell of a lot of movement, actually, not only of military folk, generally up and down Whitehall, but aircraft. Oh, I wonder which state she's from. Wild guess? Tennessee. Little cowboy boots. Might as well. One day I'll make the classic joke, folks. I come across a lady tourist who is from Tennessee. Say like, "How did you guess?" And I can say, regardless, I can say, "Because you're the only 10 I see." Yeah, I've never actually had an occasion to use that joke in real life, but you know what? There's always the first time. Civil servants heading to a very important meeting, in fact. That's the bell, the half-past bell. And that, guys, is a wrap. And the reason it's a wrap is it's just too hot. I'm not going to exaggerate. It's completely ridiculous. And I've been out for just over 2 hours with zero shade. So the next couple of tourists will be our last, I think, for today. You got a good picture actually, great smile that guy had. Okay, she's trying to get her family in trouble. She's like, come over, come over, come over. It's always nice to finish a part 2 with a shout, but you know what? I don't think we're going to get it. On the contrary, they've all gone. And you know what? Me too. Out of here, people. That was part 2. Part 1 is linked below. I'll be back as ever real soon.